Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and today I'm talking about E3, and this is on the games, not the press conferences. If you want to know about that, I thought most of the press conferences were something you shouldn't watch unless it was Nintendo, Microsoft, and I think the PC gaming show. I think that one barely qualifies, but everything else was kind of just something you could skip. They had nothing of note, maybe one thing, but it's not enough for an entire press conference, or even in some cases, the press conference was so poorly done. I think of like Gearbox or Coach Media, Capcom, Bandai Namco, which had some things in them maybe, but again, one tiny thing is not going to make me sit there. Or again, they don't have anything and they're just a bad press conference. So let's get into the game, shall we? These are going to be 10 games that I thoroughly thought they did a good job, or at least of note, that maybe should be on your radar. 5 games that absolutely blew me out of the water, and 3 games that I feel like did a poor job at E3. So let's get to one. Go through the 10 that I did enjoy. First off, Age of Empires 4. That's what I'm gonna have the trailers going through here. I'm using for reference PC Gamer site of E3 to kind of go down the list. But yeah, no, I thought the trailer was good. I thought, again, Age of Empires 4 is already something I'm interested in, but this made me more interested. And again, the big thing is it will be available on Game Pass, which is a great deal. The next game, of course, is Back 4 Blood. I can't watch this, apparently. Thanks, YouTube. I don't know why. That's weird. Can I just... No, I would click out. Never mind. But anyway, Back 4 Blood essentially is from the devs who made Left 4 Dead. And they're back with Left 4 Dead, just not with the title because it's owned by Valve and they want to make their own game. Again, from the trailer, it seemed like there's a lot of different beasts, a lot of different zombie iterations you'll be fighting. Plus, of course, there's a good team dynamic to it where, again, looks like every single person has their own perks and abilities. Hopefully that makes each character a little more unique and allows a more interesting combat scenarios with co-op. Again, that's what I'm hoping for. Another game that has co-op that I thought was really cool, again, another one that's age restricted, is Evil Dead. Again, the Evil Dead game is probably like Left 4 Dead, but more in the vein of something you would see with like Friday the 13th and how that game looked, just with like a Left 4 Dead style feel, just slower. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it as long as the combat's good. It looks like it hits well. Again, the fact you can play as Ash is fantastic. Not a huge fan of the Evil Dead movies. They're not my personal like favorite movies of all time. But I'll be honest, my favorite, even though everyone loves Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, I don't know. I love the comedic bits of it and how quotable that movie is. And then, of course, I really enjoyed the series. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but maybe it was just the creativity of all the monsters and stuff, but that was seriously good. I was surprised. But yeah, no, really hoping for this game, and again, hoping it is good. Another game that's coming out that I'm hoping is good is this Dark Pictures game. Now, you may be saying, Greyshot, why do you have this on the title? Well, this one got a little bit more of a deep dive. I put this on the list before then. The deep dive almost actually got it off the list because there really wasn't that much information. There was very few bits. But what I do enjoy about this iteration of this Dark Pictures thing, and for those who don't know, there's been 2 previous ones, Man of Medan and another one, something, Little Hope, I think is what it's called. And to be 100% honest, Man of Medan I thought was okay, and Little Hope I just didn't care for, and everyone I talked to says it was way worse than Man of Medan, just because of how that story played out and what was actually going on. But anyway, and the impact of the actual decisions you made. But anyway, if you're wondering why I am so optimistic, these guys made Until Dawn, and I still really enjoy Until Dawn. To this day. I'm actually playing it right now with my girlfriend. So the fact that they're making essentially what is another one of these games about, I'm assuming, 4 to 6 hours in length, and you make decisions. But again, essentially it's, hey, you're in the Iraq War, there's 2 opposing forces, and also there's a goddamn giant monster in it that is awesome. Like again, you have these bat-like, oh, thank you. You have these like bat-like creatures that are flying through. My only concern with this is actually this. And this is maybe a meta joke that a lot of people don't know, but it's the Pazuzu edition. And yeah, if you're a fan of Red Letter Media, you know what Pazuzu is, or Exorcist 2, I should say. Yeah, that's unfortunately now a hilarious name, even though it's supposed to be the name of a god, but it's fine. Hopefully they can make this creature scary, intimidating, and the game is overall good. I'm hopeful, I'm a big monster movie fan, as you probably know if you are a fan of my channel. So again, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping. And again, it's funny because it wasn't necessarily the gameplay that stuck it. It's the fact there's a monster movie game that you can play through and either have everyone die or hopefully everyone live. We'll see. I got most of my men out of Man of Medan. Little hope. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. But another game that we have that at least I thought was somewhat interesting was Somerville. This one's very weird to do and to pick, and I guess to kind of explain. By the way, I know Songs of Conquest on there. A lot of people are really talking about it in the RTS community. I need to do more research on it. I know it wasn't on my radar, and it's like the trailer wasn't that enticing for me, at least with the world and stuff. Maybe some more stuff will come out, or maybe I have to play it to really get it. But the reason why I like Somerville is these are some of the devs that did Limbo and Inside, and both those games are so good. I think I prefer Inside over Limbo, but still, this is essentially set during like some type of alien invasion, but in the same type of style that you can see right now of Inside. So immediately you have my interest, and the trailer did such a great job, because this is the first trailer I think we got of this game, of showing the gameplay, the world, the impact of what's going on, and just look at the beautiful landscape and the art design. It's fantastic. Again, my only gripe with this is the fact it's a year away, we still don't know much, and again, there's a few things here I'm just like, okay, that looks cool, but I need to know more. But you have my interest. It was like number 6 probably on my list of like top games. But again, we'll have to see maybe another trailer or something like that. Next time we'll shoot it up further. Another game I have that I really am interested in is A Plague's Tale. Now you may be wondering, Greyshot, have you played the first Plague's Tale? No, it's on my list. I literally have it downloaded. I had no idea they were having a sequel, but it's like one of 3 games I have downloaded to play. I just haven't had time recently. But yeah, this game essentially is a sequel to it, and the reason why I'm so fascinated by this game is A, how gorgeous the first game was and this game is, and secondly, we're about to see here is gonna be these rat physics. Like, look at that. That's all rats. It's a literally a wave of rats with their plague and will eat people. That's again, it's so interesting. But I'm curious to see how this goes. I'm curious to see this game. And again, I think it's something that could be fantastic. But yeah, the trailer just gripped me just because of, well, again, how beautiful it is, choreography, and of course, the rat swarm. You have a giant swarm of rats, you're probably going to get some attention. Now, another game that we have on my list of games that, let's see. Oh, there's a couple on here that I don't think are on the list of games. It's weird. If you go to more E3, there's 12 minutes. This is a game that is like constantly goes over the what's it called? Essentially the same like time loop, and you're trying to break it and trying to get 2 people out of it before they end up dying or it be in a very bad state. And yeah, I'm very curious to see how that goes. It could be very good. They have a lot of good talent and actors behind it, but it could also be terrible. But here's hoping that core loop dynamic is fantastic, because, you know, everyone likes a good time loop now, like ReZero and such. The other game I had on my 10 list was, let's see here, Humankind. Again, got a little more details on it. And it's one of those games that I know you can play I think the beta is going on right now. It's closed beta, so you have to pre-order it. Not a huge fan of pre-ordering games, but again, I feel like this is like going to be a game I'm going to buy anyway. But again, I probably would have. It's just Imperator Rome kind of prevented me from immediately pre-ordering some strategy games. But I'll probably make that exception for this, because again, it had a really good overall showing. But anyway, let's see. I think that's all my main games except for 2, which are actually not on this list, surprising. I'll just maybe put up some gameplay. Terra V Invicta, which is like a spaceship battle game where you have tactics and you have different ships and you're just trying to win the space battle. And on the flip side, you have Falling Frontier. That one is probably more interesting, but I kind of lumped them together because they were announced at the same time. The reason the second one, Falling Frontier, is essentially you are a country in the world. All right, there's an alien invasion. You know the aliens are coming. They're building up their strength at the edge of the galaxy. You have until a certain period of time to do something in order to stop the alien invasion, and that could be launch create a coalition, then build your own fleet, and then go out and engage it, or build defenses, or try to expand your empire around the solar system. Whatever you had to do to stop this alien invasion. And that premise alone is interesting. I like XCOM, and I like the fact you're battling an alien invasion, but the fact you're going from, hey, this is the world, to expanding outside of the world to like other planets in the solar system and having this grand like battle has me fascinated, truly. So again, that immediately caught my eye. But with that, I want to say that is... Oh, no, there's one last game, and my apologies. I should not have forgot this game, but it's called Replaced. And this game caught my attention because of the art style. Because immediately, again, it kind of like, oh, is this like going for an 80s theme or something like that? But just kind of skip ahead a little bit to kind of show you. This is a pixel art style, but it looks absolutely gorgeous right now. Again, I just feel that this game looks really cool. The animation is very slick, and again, overall has a very unique flow to it, flow and style to it. So again, has my interest. Unfortunately, it's not coming out till next year, but that's fine. This game has so much style to it that I will absolutely wait. But by God, look again, it's a stunning game for what they're able to do with that art style. So really, really curious to see how that goes. All right, now we got ourselves a couple other things. We got ourselves games that I'm going to put in my top 5. First up, Battlefield 2042. I feel like this trailer and overall the showing, especially at the Microsoft conference, really won over a number of people. Just because of the fact that there's so much going on. Unfortunately, this is like the pre-E3 trailer. But the one they showed at the Microsoft conference was fantastic in showing that how big these maps are. It still looked good with gameplay. This is, again, pre-rendered in-engine stuff. But the game itself looks good. I'm hoping it turns into a great Battlefield game. Again, it is only multiplayer based, but the trailer did enough to where it's like, okay, I see what you're doing with the weather dynamic. I see what you're doing with all this. It looks entertaining, but the question is going to be, are the servers going to be good? Is the game going to be balanced? Is there going to be some weird microtransaction or some other stuff hidden in there? I know they've said some things about like, oh, we're not going to have... Hold on. Wait. What's the catch? Because I'm always waiting for that. Anyway, moving on from there, we got another one, which is Halo Infinite. This is probably like the most improved game by like a good margin for like really from the last time we saw it. To be fair, I thought the last time we saw Halo wasn't terrible until you got to that brew at the end. I'm like, Jesus Christ, wrap things up because this looks bad. Up until that part, I'm like, okay, it's fine. This looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. Again, I like this style more so than Halo 4 and Halo 5. To me, this sort of reminds me more of Halo 3 and our updated version of Halo 3, which I know sounds weird, but if you look at Halo 3 and then you look at an even like extension of Halo Reach, and then also on the flip side, you look at games like, what's it called? Halo 4 and Halo 5, their art style, or at least what they were putting on the consoles, did not look very interesting, if that makes sense. It may have looked better, but to me it didn't feel like Halo, and it's one of contention. It's one of the things where it's like, I don't think Halo 4, they should have put so much time into making it look as incredible as it was, especially if you're putting it on the 360. I feel like gameplay is where you needed to improve in that game, and it just didn't do it. Here it looks like, okay, we're going to refine the gameplay of Halo 3, but again, you just saw they still have like sprint and a few other different abilities, which I hope, again, it's like, okay, maybe have it as, I don't know, an armor ability or something like that. Something, but we'll see. Again, this trailer brought me back to the days where I loved playing Halo, and I will say trailers for Halo 4 and 5 didn't make me feel like that, but again, here's hoping this does. And again, I think the new mechanics of like the grapple and stuff like that is a good thing. Now, it seems like a lot of games are doing that. I could be wrong, but didn't Doom Eternal do it. But here's hoping that both the multiplayer and campaign are great and don't disappoint. I have a big fondness of Halo. That's why I brought this up. Now, another game that was kind of huge was, The Outer Worlds. And if I have to say what the best trailer was of E3, it's this trailer. And it's just because it's making fun of other trailers of E3, of the guy pretty much saying like, oh, here's the wah sound, here's the amazing bloom, here's the character that isn't done yet, that's why we're having him in the shadow, not just because to make him look cool. Like, again, it's a good trailer, it gets with the sense of humor that's with that game, it nails it perfectly, and overall I am very happy they're doing Outer Worlds 2. It's a game that I need to finish, but overall I still had a really good time playing it when I did, and I need to play a lot more because there's a lot of side quests in that game that I need to complete. But in any capacity, very excited that they did it, and easily probably the best new trailer that I saw at E3. And again, if you have a better trailer, please leave it down below. I'm actually kind of curious what you guys thought were the better trailers. That being said, the biggest surprise of E3, again, we have most improved, like, okay, this kind of reaffirming with Battlefield. Actually, kind of surprised not on here. Yeah, that's kind of a big oopsie, it's not on here. The Guardians of the Galaxy game. That was honestly just a shock for me about like, wait, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy game? Wait a second. It's all single player? Wait a second. It's being done by the Deus Ex guys? And it looks good? What? Again, I'm still holding out judgment until it finally releases because who knows, there could be hidden microtransactions or there could be attempted co-op or something weird to make it similar to the Marvel's Avengers game done by the team that did Tomb Raider and ended up being honestly not very interesting. I never played it. I never had interest in a game that literally is a grindy loot fest that yeah, should probably have focused on being a good story like Spider-Man. And it seems like Guardians is taking an example and doing that, which I'm very, very hopeful for. I'm really, really hopeful for that info, but we shall see. Now, if you want to say, what is my favorite thing of E3, I'm going to disappoint a lot of people here. I'm going to disappoint a lot of people. My biggest thing was Doki Doki Literature Club. Yep, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Doki Doki Literature Club. That was it. That was my favorite thing. And also, I honestly think it had one of the best trailers of E3. And that's because literally it's like, this game will unnerve you. It's horrifying. And then it pops out and it's like, oh, look, Doki Doki. It's so cute. Isn't it great? If you've never played Doki Doki, you know that's completely BS. I see you. I see you. Oh, geez. Yeah, psychological horror. And it makes it seem so nice and colorful. Goddamn. What I would give to, again, because the big thing was getting people to play this game that had no idea what the frick was going on. And, yeah, no, I still think that they did a very, very good job at kind of playing up the horror aspect and then kind of revealing. And everyone, it's like, oh, this doesn't look bad. And everyone who's played that game is like, oh, God, no, just keep it away. My only concern, this is the weird thing. And again, small spoilers, maybe. I do not see how this game's gonna work on consoles. And for those who are wondering, no, it's not. It's not because of a graphics reason why you couldn't run this game. You could easily run this game. My only concern is how the hell do you complete this game with a controller? Is as far as I go. That is my concern, which makes me think. If you can only use a controller, and again, I'm being very just in general about the ending. Most people probably know at this point, but still, if you can only use a controller, what are they going to be doing? Like, what are they changing? That is my big question right now. What are they doing? But honestly, yes, I was not expecting Doki Doki. I'll probably be streaming this on the channel and playing it because, again, it has my interest. Now, again, that's probably like everyone's like, really, Doki Doki? Yes, it's great. Shut up. Anyway, I don't like visual novels anyway, but that game was just awesome. Let's go over the games that completely and utterly failed, shall we? Probably the biggest failure, this Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. I'm gonna be honest, the guy in this looks like a staple generic protagonist that I've seen in quite some time. Like, even for like an anime protagonist, he is dreadfully boring. And I love the fact that it's now become a running joke, the fact that of saying chaos and he'll end chaos or be chaos and all this stuff. I know it's supposed to be like a Dark Souls sort of inspired game, but again, I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy guy, but literally I don't know how you butcher a demo release, but the fact they did it is just an achievement. The fact they didn't test that out to make sure you could unlock a demo, which is probably the biggest known failure, I would say, of E3 for a game, I should say, of it just releasing and being like people are just underwhelmed, which is great because if was it Square Enix, I believe, released a Quiet Man. So if this could be the Quiet Man of 2022, that would be a nice, nice little surprise right there. I think that would bring people together after, honestly, a pandemic that for some people will be lasting up to 2 years. That could be good. That could be good. Another game, my second probably would be Jurassic World. The reason is it's essentially just you don't get much. Oops, sorry. Yeah, it's just not. It's just another CGI trailer, and it's like, okay, I know this is supposed to be like some. How do I put this in the nice way possible? I know this is a new game, but the fact that you just have a CGI trailer, it's just okay. I know what the first one is. It's nothing to add that ordinary, but I think that would have been preferable to actually see gameplay. And this is like the Outer Worlds counter, where it's like we would have probably seen one more than the other. But anyway, it's supposed to be coming out this year. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm not too excited for it. I feel like there should have been more. Another game that got information was Hell Let Loose. That's like my third kind of failure type game that at least I could find. Okay, so I pulled up the trailer just for reference. So you have this shot here where it's like, okay, it's fine. He's talking about the game, but then they have these weird shots where you're pulling up more camera equipment. It's kind of zooming, and you're just seeing his like boom mic and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, buddy, which is fine. If it, he provided interesting knowledge about it. And again, he's just sugarcoating. Again, great job with Hell Let Loose. Nothing against that. But the reason why I kind of call this kind of a minor kind of like, what are you doing? Is he doesn't really go much into Hell Let Loose. I feel like all those cuts could have been interspersed with this gameplay here. And then him kind of bringing up more information about, hey, this is going to be how many maps. This is going to be everything coming to Hell Let Loose. So that way, of course, the players have more info and there's more like showing of like what's going to be happening with this. But yeah, it's just a couple of shots of a trench and people running, and then yeah, there's not much. Like again, out of this 2-minute trailer, there's like 20 seconds, and I don't even want to say that because in that time there's a lot of black bars and like fading and such. I feel like you should have added more gameplay, and you could have cut this into him like cutting to those weird angles where you're looking at his equipment, and then cut in more information about the expansion and stuff about it. Because I just see this and I'm like, all right, I have no idea what's the importance of this. But hey, that's kind of the three biggest failures I saw. But that's my overall thoughts of E3 in general. What did you think? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm sort of right on this? And what were your favorite games you saw at E3? Is there anything I missed? Please let me know. Otherwise, this has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before you guys go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Joey G240, Aphyria, Ace, Tony B95, Epic Pleb, XSomeToolx, and Netkuba. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for watching. And seriously, I could not do this without all of you. So thank you so very much. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time.